All right, let's go ahead and open Roblox Studio and let's go back to the game that we started in the last video. Now, when you open the studio, remember we published it to Roblox, and so it should show up under your My Games, and here we have this My Obby. Now obviously there's nothing in it yet, but if you also saved the file locally, you can go ahead and open from File, or you'll see this Recent Files. Now the thing is, you want to keep track of where you're saving it so that you're always keeping the updated version and you know where the latest version is. If you start working with the saved file and then you never publish to Roblox, then you won't see it when you go back to Roblox from the studio or like on your profile. For example, if you go to your profile and then go to the Create tab, it's going to show you all the games that have been uploaded that are part of your account. But if you haven't uploaded this one, and let's say you make a bunch of changes to this local version, this file, and you don't publish, then changes that are made locally won't show up in the game, in the portal. So just be aware of that. So when you keep track of it, it's always important that you're saving and you're clicking that Publish to Roblox. Now, notice how these all say private. That means I'm the only one who's going to see it. Now, you do have one game that Roblox will automatically build for you and give you, and it's kind of like a training ground. We'll look at that one at another time, but it's going to show up as public, which means anybody can play it, and so you can get your friends, invite them over, and show them the cool things you're building. But just know that if it's listed as private, that means only you or people who are on your team can see these games. Let's go back to our game and let's talk about the kind of the basics of Roblox Studio. So here we have our main game view, and this is where we're going to edit everything, all the visual elements that we can see in the game. Over here on the right is the Explorer. And we're going to get into a lot of what all this is as we go through these videos. And then you have properties. And then down here, I happen to have the output window open. So if you go to view, you can see where you can turn this on or off. And again, here are these other windows that may have been open when you started for the first time, and you can go ahead and open them again, or you can close them. Here we have our output window, which we want to see. And then along the top we've got additional menu items, and we'll go through each of these as we work. First, let's go click the home and let's take a look at some of these things. Here you can select, you can move an object, you can scale an object, you can rotate an object. So let's go ahead and select this. Notice how it's kind of highlighted. You see these little lines. That means it's selected. And over here in the Explorer, notice how it's selected as well. So you can do a couple things. You can either click the object in the view, or you can come over here and then, like for example, I can select the base plate, which is this large element at the bottom. Now, if I were to run this, let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. Notice that if I go to move and I'm trying to walk around, notice how I'm just walking around on this giant flat terrain and there's nothing on it. Now, for an obby, this is not very difficult because you never fall down. So let's fix that. Go ahead and click stop. Notice here it's the base plate. That's what we want selected. If you don't have it selected, make sure you select the base plate, and then you can go ahead and press the delete key on your keyboard, and now it's gone. So let's go ahead and run this again. And this time, if I go to move, and let's say you go to move on your keyboard and nothing's happening, make sure you click inside the window so that it takes control. Otherwise, sometimes if you have your mouse off to the side, like if you have two monitors or something, then it won't, the input won't be showing up. So if you go to move and it doesn't, then make sure you click inside the game area and then you can move. Now, if I go ahead and, hey, there we go. There's your first obstacle. You just fell. Luckily, it respawns and we're back. Let's go ahead and click stop. So let's talk about how we manipulate our view here in the screen. You could use your right mouse button and click and drag, and you can turn it. You also have this little widget up here. If you don't see the widget, go ahead and go back to the view and notice this says View Selector. And see, now it's turned off. Now it's not there. But here, now this is showing us the view of the camera. This is helping us understand. Here's what I'm seeing, and right now we're kind of at this angle up above, and we're at a higher angle. If I were to click here, now I'm seeing from the left side, and if I click this little arrow on the left, now I'm on the front. Now I'm on the right, and now I'm back to the back. I can click here to see the top view, and then if you click in the corner, notice how there's like this little highlighted corner, then you'll be back to kind of this expanded view, kind of the normal angle of the camera. Now, if I'm going to move around and I want to see what's on the screen, I can use my mouse, my right button on the mouse, and move. I can also use the WASD keys. Now, these do a couple things. So A moves the camera to the left, D moves it to the right, W zooms in, and S moves back. Now you also have another key. You have the Q, the letter Q, it moves down, and then you have the letter E, it moves up. So you've got these 4 keys all at your fingertips that lets you move up and down, in and out. Now the mouse scroll wheel also does the zoom in, but you get used to, you want to use your keyboard as much as you can so that you can start creating things faster, and you'll get faster as you start working with it. So that's just a quick introduction of Roblox Studio and how to work around it. We're going to learn a lot more as we go through this. Let's go ahead and publish this so that we save all the changes. And if you rename it the same as your previous game, it's going to rewrite it. So go ahead and click Create, and then it's going to rewrite it, and then click Close, and then go ahead and close out.